I thought that this was such a fascinating film. To have basically silence, I mean, you're hearing, ambient noises, you're hearing background noises and things like that, but to have no interaction, no dialogue, and you're just seeing little moments of his life and of his day over this insane span of like 100, I think it was 111 days or something close to that, I think is such a fascinating way to get this kind of view of a person. And you don't get the extra details of their friends, their family. You don't get the details of their relationship status or what that looks like, or their families and how that dynamic is. You don't get anything else except these kind of quiet moments where he's by himself and what that looks like. And I think that that's such a fascinating way to almost like to tell a story, to share a journey, and to see the contrast between how he was at the beginning versus the very, very end. And that obviously took place over lots of like many days, but to see the kind of real time almost changes that happen, because I think a lot of the time in film, changes and things like that get accelerated because you what happens naturally little by little in everyday life, you can't actually put that into a film without speeding that process up. um, and I think that this was a really, really interesting way to kind of show the slower, kind of more real-time version of it in a faster way, because you're cutting out all of the all the interactions. You're only showing the kind of quiet moments where everything is stripped away and he's just by himself. And I thought it was really, really, really fascinating.
ZANDIELMAN. This is shot like a camera is posted in the corner. So it's similar to how like Instagram content is produced, where we're watching a subject doing like mundane things, drinking tea, cooking, watching the sunset, sitting in a room, knitting. Um, what is quite eerie about it is because there's no background music in the piece. So it's just silence and we're like subjected to what he's got going on. It's like almost we're watching like secretly, like we're peeking in on these private moments is what it felt like. But it is very similar to what you'll see influencers do, but usually there's some sort of inspirational quote underneath or some beautiful music that, so it was interesting. It was clear that this was set up to feel like it wasn't set up to feel like a production. It didn't feel like there was like lighting. It felt like it was the use of natural light. And so if the sun is setting, it's going to be dimmer. If it's a bright day, it's going to be lighter, that type of thing. But yes, I was curious what the purpose of this was. If it was for us to feel like we're looking at private moments, I got that. If it was for something else, I didn't.
This piece is sort of a day in the life. It starts in the evening. It seems like this character has insomnia almost, is igniting a bedroom routine. The light is, dim and red lighting, which, represents a lot of emotion, even in silence. This film has very little sound. I found myself having to turn it up at times to even notice if there was even any sound attached to the film itself at all. And then in those moments, you can hear these slight little delicate movements as we walk through these mundane tasks, whether they're brushing your teeth or sitting in a sauna or washing dishes, sitting on the porch, watching, just porch watching, all of these things that are sort of serene and in silence that we keep to ourselves, in these moments that we have to ourselves to reflect, to think, to take in what may be sitting with us for a bit. And this character sits with themselves so much in this moment. And I think that in itself is really delicate, really soft, quiet. Really taking the time to check in with yourself is really important.
The short film was a fun and engaging watch. The single location and single character allows the audience to quickly get behind the character and root for them to succeed in whatever journey that they might be headed towards. And I think that Zandelman was a great watch with a lot of potential.